Godot always had a really useful built-in help, a reference of all the classes, functions, and properties available in the engine that you can browse anytime offline. Since Godot 4, the editor will now generate documentation pages based on your scripts. If I search for the name of my class here, auto documentation, you can see that the editor generated a page for it with all of the properties, methods, and everything that I documented inside of it. This video is sponsored by Godot game devs like you who invest in learning with GDQuest. Remember, for a limited time, you can pre-order our Godot 4 courses below launch price. They're rolling out starting January 30, 2024 on GD School, our own new learning platform. Let's look at how we can generate documentation pages like this. The first requirement is to define a class name. So you can see I named this one auto documentation. And if I search for auto documentation in the help menu, this is the corresponding class name that I can find for which there's a docs page. Then notice how we use double hash signs in the code quite a lot. This is how you tell Godot that this text is not a comment, but it's documentation text. We call that doc strings. So any list of lines with these double hash signs above a definition, whether it's an enum, a constant, a signal, a method, whatever, is going to be the documentation text for this method, for this identifier, basically. There is a special case if you put these comments, these doc strings, around the top of your script. These will become your class description. So you can find this example on GitHub, link in the description, and there you have a lot of text that explains in detail how you can write the documentation, of course. But going very quickly over it, inside of these doc strings, you can see we have some things in brackets. This is the markup that you saw on old bbcode forums if you're old enough. And so in brackets, you can write things like code as an opening tag, and then in angular brackets /code to close an inline code snippet, for example. You can also use it with the color tag to change the color of some text. Below the video, you will find a link to this page in the official documentation. It lists all of the bbcode tags you can use in your documentation, but also with the rich text label node in Godot with examples in the right column. Back to the example code for this video, there is one last case to discuss. Since Godot 4.1, you can also use inline doc strings. That is to say, you can see that for the signal for the enum, we've put the doc string above the signal definition, the enum definition. And that was like this that you had to do everything in Godot 4.0. So for example, even for constants inside of an enum, for each of them, we would have to put the comments above the constants. Since Godot 4.1, you can also put the doc strings after the constant or the identifier that you want to document. Subscribe to get more videos like these, and be sure to join our Discord community. It's a great place to give and get help from fellow Godot users. You'll find a link in the description.